Day 15, getting straight to it, right? We had a day 14 yesterday. We're going right back at it today. Happy Halloween, guys. You can see the decorations. We had a little party a couple days ago, and my girlfriend decorated the house. It looks pretty nice, to be honest. So, in light of Halloween, we could do a little special here. I was thinking of doing some hand poses again, just so we practice those hands, or arms as well. So just arms and hand practice in general, because we could always use more of that. And yeah, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna put a little zombie/monster twist on it today in light of Halloween. So let's go right into it. Oh, and before we do, references in the description below. Do not forget the references. Always remember to use the references. So yeah, let's go to the desk. Right, new setup. A little bit different today. We're still trying to optimize the way to record this and the way to get all these drawings out there for you guys. I think this is the easiest I've come up with so far, where everything's just connected to my computer and we're going from there. But we'll see how this pans out. Now, what we're using today, my favorite Koh-i-Noor Versatile 5900. Don't know if that's the actual model name or whatever it is. It's a bit customized. Where is it? I might make a video about this one day. Show you guys how to do this, because it's this is a fantastic pencil, but it really lacks a grip, and this helps out a lot. I'm still thinking whether to do like a groovy type thing here, but I want to do it correctly. I don't want to screw this up. Although these are fairly cheap, so you can get these again. But this, one of my favorite pencils. Anyway, enough faffling. Let's get to drawing some hands. We're going to be drawing some quick fire hands, I'd say. Actually, we'll go with a timer today, because we haven't done the timer in a while. Going back to the roots, let's do a 15-minute timer on these. And we're going to try and do some quick fire hands. These are going to be fairly small, so you guys are going to have to bear with. Yeah, but I'm trying to get more poses with this lesson. That's what we're going to focus on. I think poses are a good thing to get into our heads whenever we're drawing. If we're running out of ideas for like what we should do with a hand or something like that, we can always go back to this knowledge bank that we're creating, right? Because that's what this is all about. I'm going to take out my headphones because they're actually getting a little bit annoying. But let's focus on this more. I do realize that I shouldn't be taking my focus elsewhere when I'm drawing. It's already hard enough to talk and draw at the same time. Remember, since it is Halloween, we're going to put a little twist on these, so I'm going to turn these into little zombie hands afterwards. I also picked like the perfect pose for just that, because this is a very zombie-esque hand. Also, I'm wondering if this is a little bit too small, but you know what? We'll correct and we'll make the next one a little bit bigger, just so we know what we're doing. But I do like this pose. It's definitely giving me some Halloween vibes here. I've noticed when you're drawing these hands, you can often create this sort of shape here, and that will lead you to exactly where the knuckle is. And you can just base your knuckles off of this information. You can build like these little things here. If you look at my hand, you can see that there's almost like a triangle going towards this knuckle here. So yeah, you can obviously use your own hands as a reference, but if we look closely, that's what we see. Alright, so we have the base here. Just going over this. And also, yeah, I mentioned fountain pens last video. Let's get a fountain pen into this video. We'll have a little bit of fun. Why not? It's Halloween. All we're doing is some casual practice today. So this is a Kaweco Sport. I bought this a while ago. I think it was for achieving something. I don't know what it was achieving, but yeah, it wasn't the most expensive fountain pen, but it is very nice to draw with because it has these very fine lines. And if you can see that, it looks pretty cool. I'm actually quite a fan of the lines that this fountain pen produces. And since it is a fountain pen, we can always, that was not our timer by the way, we can always come in and adjust the line weight. We can hold it down and create a thicker line, or we can just barely touch the page and we'll have something more thinner like this. This is an extra fine tip, so this is why the lines are very smooth, very thin. And I have some blue ink in here. As you can see, I've already given this hand a little bit of a Halloween twist. But what I'm trying to get across is the fact that this is a zombie's hand. So it automatically giving him slightly longer fingernails. He has not been to the beauty salon in a while. We can use this to give him slightly less sort of fat on his body due to him being a zombie and being very malnourished for a while. We make some of these features a little bit thinner, make them pop out a little bit. And we can give him a little bit of blood. I do recommend that you guys try some fountain pens for drawing. They're actually a lot of fun to use. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but they can be very nice to draw with. Especially this one, this extra fine one. And you can see we've got a bit of a finger missing here. Oh, there you go, there's our first fountain pen drawing. Just so you guys have a little bit of variation. You can't tell me that I only do pencil drawings now. Now we've dabbled into new materials here, new lands. There we go, look at that, it looks fun. Let's get another reference real quick. This one's another fairly simple reference to go with. Try and get this centered. And once again, we're starting the drawing with basic shapes, because you guys remember that's a very important thing. And I'm going to start actually trying to use this technique a little bit more here, with the triangles going into the knuckles. And using these little lines as guides, very important. Remember to always use these sort of things. All it does is it just helps you. There's nothing wrong with using guides like this. It makes your life a lot easier, and it makes things a little bit easier to follow along. I think we as artists put a little bit too much emphasis on the fact that something is cheating, like tracing or anything like that. We say that it's cheating automatically. It definitely isn't. It's just us trying to use the tools that we have to get better, to get our work to a better standard. I do like the lines I'm creating here. Actually a very big fan of that. As you can see, some of the guides don't always line up, but that's alright. We'll correct as we go along. Automatically you can see there's an issue with this finger being a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just shorten this one a little bit. The magic of a pencil. This is almost going to be a direct copy. In fact, usually when I'd be drawing hands in this sort of position, I would connect the two fingers in the middle up, and then have like the finger here, pinky here, thumb here. Very, very bad example, but in drawings it looks cool when you connect these two. I don't know why everyone does it, but it just makes the hand look a lot better and it's less work. That's probably why a lot of people do it. Let's face it. Any shortcuts that we can take as artists, although I don't always recommend taking shortcuts, but when we have a lot of work to do, it's good to find shortcuts for everything. As long as they do not compromise on quality, and in this case I think they add to it, because I always like the way that these hands look in like comic books or wherever you tend to see them. They always have a unique look to them. This guy has a very bendy thumb. It's weird, I've always wished I had a thumb like that. Don't ask why, because I can't give you the reason why, but it just always did. I always wished I had a thumb that, but mine doesn't do that. As you can see, mine does it a little bit, maybe. I don't know, I thought it always looked cool. It does make me weird, I do understand that. Got the knuckle here again. Add some of these details, but I think one thing that we can definitely start to notice is I think our hand game's getting better. I think we're definitely improving our hand game, which is the point, because that's why we're doing all of this. We're doing so many of these lessons and we're on day 15 already. You know, we should be seeing at least some of the progress. But that being said, do not worry if you're not seeing that much progress, because it takes different amounts of time for different people. It's just like anything in life. Some people learn very quickly, others don't. Others take a little bit longer. I'd say I was probably one of those people that take a little bit longer to learn these things, and take a little bit longer to learn anything, really. I was always kind of a slow learner. It took me a long time to study out things in school compared to others. I think others got it way faster than me. I'd like to say I've improved it now. It's actually got me thinking about a topic that I'm going to discuss on this channel at some point, just in general about university, and how I think university is definitely rushed upon us a little bit too early. Just a point of discussion. I'd love to open up a dialogue and get some of you guys' thoughts on these things, like what you think about things like education and maybe our education or not going into our education. Just curious. But that being said, I don't know why, but I'm fascinated by this hand that we created here. I'm a big fan. I do like it. But we must remember, it's a zombie hand, so therefore it's going to be dripping in blood, because it's just been through the human deli and it's just munched on something. So we have to ruin our perfectly good hand. We have to scruff it up with some dirt and some blood, because it's just been mauling through some mauling, I think that's the word, through something. Let's do a little bit here, a little bit there. Overall, I think we are very happy with this hand. I am, at least. How are we doing on the timer? Let's have a look. Oh, did it turn off? Fantastic. Oh no, it's there. Look at that. 2 minutes left. And we've only done 2 hands. We'll do that. We'll definitely do another one. Even if the timer goes a bit too long. But we'll do a couple more, actually. I think this has been way too short. Alright, let's have a look. Let's get another reference going. That's something we don't see often. A zombie hand holding a cigarette. Sorry, for those of you wondering, I have my mic over here. Yeah, I have it over here. I'm trying something different. Trying my big mic for these videos, seeing if that makes this any better. You might hear more of the drawing sounds, which may be a little bit of fun to listen to. Speaking of, I'm gonna sharpen this pencil real quick. I have my little sharpening box here, but do I have my sharpener? Of course I don't. Maybe I have it here. I'll probably cut this bit. Oh, where are they? I've lost my sharpener. I do have a massive toolbox here that I can show you guys a little bit of, but I do have this. This is my toolbox of extra painting and drawing supplies. But we have a sharpener here. Whenever we're doing these things, I always wonder whether I should actually... Oh yeah, these pencils do come with a sharpener, by the way, that you can unscrew from here. But I would like to say that I think that they suck. I don't like them at all. There's a really, really nice sharpener that I want to get for these at some point. It's like this circle one, and you put this in and you like spin it, and it perfectly sharpens these 2mm leads. That is definitely a goal to acquire, but I think that sharpener costs around the same amount as my desk sharpener, which I would say was much more value for money, but you know what? Convenience costs. It really does. I think the more convenient something becomes, the more expensive it will be. Alright, let's get this hand going. This one's a little bit tougher, I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna do the exact same. Time's up. How long are we gonna give ourselves to do this? I'd say 10 minutes. We'll do this in 10 minutes. And I'm gonna use shapes again. We're gonna use shapes to generate the rough look of what's going on here. Shapes will make our lives easier. And guidelines. So I'm putting in the guides for more or less what I see here. And we can see this hand goes over here. Just as well, it's a bit late to do a disclaimer, but there's not going to be, I won't be putting these references in here because we're doing more quick fire rounds. So for here, the references will just be in the description below, so you'll have to go and actually have a look at them. But yeah, just wanted to let you know, for these quick fire videos that we do, I don't think I'm going to put all of the references in here because they just jump around a little bit too much, and I want you guys to focus on what we're doing here. So actually, to be honest, I'll probably decide this when it comes to the editing, but at the moment I don't feel like I should be putting the references in here. Look at that. Alright, so we've got the roughest guide that we possibly could have created here. But now I'm going to slightly rub it out, just so we know where we're... Just so we know that we don't have like a messy background to work on with this. So let's have a look. Where are we going to start off with? I think let's start off with the pinky and work our way up. Remember when we talked about styling? Again, this is a great place where you can choose how you want to style your drawing when it comes to these fingers. And correct me if I'm wrong, I may have talked about this already, but fingers are a great place to style because a lot of fingers, obviously real fingers, they have three of these lines, right? Two joints here, and then there's the middle of the finger, the beginning, and then the end of it. When we draw, we often do two. and that's it. And you don't need more, because that's just, this is often done in comics and in videos like that. You often don't need more, but that can again completely be down to you and your stylistic choice of what you want to do with your drawing. So keep that in mind, but remember that is your choice, and you can choose for 2 fingers to be your style. Great thing about art, isn't it? We have so much control. Yet we allow these sort of decisions to get the hold of us. That's something I wanted to mention, actually. We often make ourselves stuck because we decide that we have to think about a decision like that for long. I say we just go with the feel. If you feel like doing 2 hands in this drawing, you do 2 points on your finger in this drawing, you do that. If you feel like doing 3, you do that. It's your choice, it's your art, it's your message to the world, not the fingers. Let's see. This one's definitely getting a little bit messier, as we can see very clearly. But that's alright. I will try and do some cleaner lines here. I'm not one for doing like super clean lines. I always wanted to have super clean lines, but I don't know, I end up chicken scratching a little bit. Let's try and do some, look at that, I'm trying a different thing. Here, we're gonna try and do some cleaner lines and see how that looks. I can already tell it does look quite nice. Oh, I tell you what, since this is a zombie hand, we'll do the cigarette slightly damaged, slightly soggy from like rain or something. You gotta take some of these lessons, right? And you just gotta allow yourself to have some fun with it, because that's, at the end of the day, I think we're gonna learn a lot more when we're doing something like that, rather than when we're being super strict with ourselves to just treat these like lessons in school. That's the great thing about this, is you're no longer in school, so why treat it the same way? This is your time, and you can choose to have a lot more fun with it. Don't be putting too much pressure on yourself. Now, I think it's good to have pressure to improve and to have pressure to want to be greater at something. After all, that's what we want to do. Being an artist, it's a very, very competitive field. There's a lot of these people out there who want to do exactly the same thing we're doing here. But we're in competition of wanting to do it better. So obviously there is that pressure, but everyone has their time, and I think we'll get to ours very, very soon if we keep going with these lessons. That's why I hope you guys are joining in, because I think you can take a lot out of these, and you can start to learn a lot more when you're practicing. So don't just watch these videos. I do hope that you guys are out there with a pen or pencil, paper, just going in on these drawings together, because that's how we'll grow. So I do hope you are out there practicing along. This isn't much of a zombie hand, is it? You know what? Now it's the zombifying part. We'll do a nasty little cut down here or something. I had a pretty bad cut recently. Well, it was a small cut. I think you can actually still see it a little bit. Yeah, right there. It was a very small cut, but it was a very deep cut, and it would not heal forever. You guys might remember some of the videos where we were in the plaster. That sucked. I'm going to use that as some motivation for this. Actually, we'll give him the exact same cut right over here, just as a way of me signing this picture. that we just did of a random hand. That's our signature on here. So most of these hands, rather than being zombie hands in the end, just ended up being covered in blood. But that's alright. Oh, do you know what? I'm screwing this part up. That does not look right. Let's give it a little look from higher up. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better, even though it's pretty much in the same spot. Give him some longer nails again. You get to see them a little bit more clearly on this. There's many more wrinkles. Don't miss out on the wrinkles. Let's make this hand really wrinkly. So real nasty looking. The more texture you tend to have in these things, the more oldish and grossy they can look. I don't even know if that's a word. I should. Probably isn't. Not saying old people are gross. I think old people are great. Just trying to get a message across here. Right, look at that. We've got third hand. And did we do it in time? We did it in time. 38 seconds to go. I think this was a rather fun little practice we have here today. We've got hand number 1, hand number 2, hand number 3. There we go. Now, I know we said arms in the earlier on, but I decided we're going to do hands today, and we'll do arms another day again. But hands are definitely something that I need to practice more, and I can see that by doing these, definitely starting to improve. So yeah, let's go back to the desk. So very happy with how this turned out. I am the most happy with this hand. I think that was yeah, that was the prize of this whole video, or this whole exercise for me. I'm proud of that hand, and I hope that if you were following along, you managed to get something like that onto your paper, and you're also proud of the work you're doing here. Give yourself a little pat on the back. That's what they said in school, right? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know we didn't do the arms. I did mention, I don't know why I mentioned the arms at the beginning. I wanted to do the hands. But for now, we're going to take a break from the hands, and we're going to see, I'm thinking neck muscles, thinking sort of this sort of area, maybe the face. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poll for the next video. So please look out on the community tab. You'll see a poll come up on there, and you'll be able to vote. I will put a link to the poll in the description. I think I can do that. So you guys will be able to go on it from this video. And when you vote, that's the next one I will do. So yeah, that way we'll get something that you guys definitely want. So I'll see you then. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see more of these, there's a playlist on them that you'll see, I think either at the end of the video or somewhere. So you can continue along and draw with us. So I wish you happy drawing, and I wish you very successful drawings. Have a good day.